We're going to talk about these dictators, okay? Because that's the case here. He's a corrupt, sociopathic scumbag. That's what Donald Trump is. And they need each other and they help each other. And I'm going to go through the timeline here like I did with Putin because it really is pretty obvious. Are we ready? Hopefully we're ready. Okay, let's talk about this. So first, Donald Trump runs for office on, I'm not going to bomb Iran. Oh, no more, not specifically that, but no more wars, no more stupid wars, no more foreign wars. He plays the whole isolationist card, an old sort of right-wing 1930s thing, when they didn't want us to go into World War II, because why'd we need to save Europe or people in concentration camps that would never come back to bite us in the future if Germany and Japan sort of split up the world between each other. But I digress. Let's get to the corruption. So first, Donald Trump, no more wars. Then, weeks leading up to the bombing of Iran by Israel, Donald Trump says, we're not going to be involved. We're not bombing, and then a few days later, he's like, well, maybe if I could be persuaded, if there are definitive nuclear sites there, whatever, before you know it, something changes. And it was like a 180. And he's talking about, he can't wait to bomb Iran. He's even singing songs about it based on the Beach Boys.
And the US President Donald Trump has posted a video on social media featuring a song called Bomb Iran. The video shows clips of B-2 stealth fighter jets, the same used in the strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. The song is a parody of the 1961 record, Bahrain, by the Regents.
Well, you know what? Russia, who, as we know, owns Donald Trump, came out and said, and we've talked about this previously, Dmitry Medvedev, who's like the little mini-me to Putin, his little marionette, came out with his very Botoxed Lauren Sanchez kind of face and said, don't you dare. Vladimir Putin said, don't you dare. Ask yourself this question, folks. This is where I try to take you from my experience in international affairs, doing work at the State Department, and my experience on presidential campaigns to the highest level, having written ads for Biden in 2020. What I've seen behind the scenes, you need to ask yourself, do people change for no reason? Okay, there are a few good people out there in the world. There really are that do. Most people, it's their self-interest, and they change due to their self-interest. Okay. And on a global scale, if you've gotten to this level of power, you're more corrupt and cynical than almost anybody else. So why does Donald Trump suddenly change? The guy that's making gazillions, remember, he was against crypto too. And now the meme coins, the crypto.
But in Donald Trump's case, he is moonlighting and clearly spending his time on other side hustles. We are in the middle of this governing period, but Trump is trying to enrich himself. He has a new fragrance line called Victory 4547, referencing the times when he actually did win the Electoral College. You'll notice 46 is not a part of it. $249 a bottle is steep for any fragrance. Trump says the product is all about winning, strength, and success. And he has been doing this kind of branding exercise for a long time, a kind of a language all unto itself.
When it comes to great stakes, I've just raised the stakes.
My new game is Trump, the game.
The God Bless the USA Bible. At Trump University, we teach success. That's what it's all about. That's the real deal. That's the real deal.
Today, we're here to introduce Trump Mobile.
We are announcing the launch of Trump Coins, a true symbol of American greatness.
He may have made $1 billion off of it already, according to reports. So he changed on that. There was a reason. He's greedy, right? We know there's very few things that Donald Trump cares about. He wants to stay out of prison, and he wants to use the United States of America as his piggy bank to make money off of our backs, everybody else's backs, use it as leverage. I'll threaten to bomb you unless you give me money. Hey, we'll have peace with you. We know there was a blockade during his first term at one point of Qatar because Jared Kushner needed some relief from the building appropriately named 666 Fifth Avenue was the address. Could there ever be a more perfect one? And Kushner needed some relief from the debt that he owed because he's a moron like his daddy-in-law and invested way too much money in something and he didn't know what he was doing. We've already, and generals at the time were shocked and outraged and said things that this isn't consistent with U.S. foreign policy. So we've done this already. This isn't our first rodeo. Well, with Iran, why? Why do a 180 and bomb Iran? Why piss off Vladimir Putin? Okay, the fifth floor Marriott Hotel special that he likes to give people, the blue as the sky on a nice day tea. He likes to feed people. Why would you want to piss that guy off when you know they've got stuff on you going all the way back to when you went to the Soviet Union in the 1980s and came back and magically wrote pieces for the New York Times and the Boston Globe on how Reagan was wrong and we really shouldn't be standing up to the Soviet Union. We should be friends. So what happens there? He's going to piss off his maker in Putin. He's going to piss off his base in, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Steve Bannons and people like that blew their spadoinkles at the fact that he was willing to bomb when he said he was a peace president and who don't want to spend any money anywhere on anybody but themselves. So again, what happened? Well, Bibi happened. Bibi also has an interest like Trump, staying out of prison. So he wants to stay in power. He almost was ousted last time. They came close. Bibi has massive weaknesses. As I said, he didn't cover the southern border. You know why? Because he was busy sending those troops up to protect illegal settlements in the West Bank. That was more important to him than covering their southern flank and ensuring that no one could get in and massacre 1,200 people on their 9/11, or what became their 9/11. So he's incompetent. He's a right-wing lunatic. He's everything Trump is. He's also corrupt. So what could be going on here? Well, we know, the things that are in public, the meme coins and all of that. Payments from Bibi, possible, right? A pact to secretly undermine and use. Remember, there was way back when an Israeli spying firm involved in the whole Cambridge Analytica thing, right? Is Bibi going to use his governmental? Mossad's pretty good at what they do. Are they going to use what they can to make sure that Trump does not lose the midterms here, to protect Trump, to make sure that Democrats get no power? Are they going to make sure that Trump can do what he needs to do to get rid of a constitutional amendment or ignore one and run for another term? Are they just going to keep him there for now when the guy's got an approval rating of like lead piled on top of horse manure, piled on top of J.D. Vance trying to order donuts? Whatever it is, if anybody who believes there isn't a corrupt deal here, you're not paying attention and you're not connecting the dots. Trump doesn't do stuff for nothing. Bibi Netanyahu doesn't do stuff for nothing. They both need help. They both need protection. Bibi Netanyahu's numbers suck in Israel. Trump's suck here because both of our populations have realized that we've got ridiculous, clownish, corrupt, cruel idiots leading us. So what do you have? Well, Trump just came out and what did he have to say? Let's see. Let Bibi go. Seriously, let my people go. Like, he's even playing on an old Jewish line. It's Moses, I guess. Can Bibi wander in the desert for 40 years first? I would do that. If they throw him out into the desert for 40 years and he can wander around aimlessly in like 112-degree weather, and basically sand as far as the eye can see. If he can make it through that, I'd let him back in. I think that's a fair deal. Do you guys think that's a fair deal? I don't know. Tell me in the comments. I think it's a fair deal. But why is Trump speaking out on a domestic prosecution going on in Israel? Again, another bullet point for you. You got to connect all of these dots. Why? What reason does Donald Trump have to do that? Why is Bibi Netanyahu there? Are they talking about he's going to come here to the White House? He endorsed Donald Trump in the past. He supported him in the past. He made quite clear he endorsed him over Biden. I don't remember if there's an official one or just everything but. But Trump being in power, he knows. So what will Trump do to keep him in power? Well, guess what? There's more spying powers that are in this big, beautiful bill. It gives the government more right to spy. They already collect so much information. What could Trump do to help keep Bibi in power? A lot. Could they also sort of have a joint pact of when they'll bomb Iran and or when they'll bomb certain other countries they choose not to like, and at the same time maybe leading up to elections, perhaps one of them bombs, the other one helps them out. It could be any number of things here, but when you know they both are corrupt financially, when you know they both don't want to go to prison, and for both of those things to occur, the third part, they both need to remain the leaders of their states. It's quite obvious. It's quite obvious, again, that there's no other reason that anybody can give me why Donald Trump did a 180 on bombing Iran. There's no other reason why Donald Trump, in the time since then, has spoken about bombing potentially again and having his base, literally want to freaking fillet him for it. There's no reason that you can give me also for the fact that he's now speaking out on a domestic prosecution going on in Israel that has nothing to do with what's going on here. I bet you're going to see Bibi speak out soon. And I would have to look at the past record on Donald Trump. But any more corruption that comes up on Trump, which is going to, he accepts Qatar jets for $500 million, apparently costs $1 million per pardon. stuff will come out, and Bibi will be there to say it's the corrupt press, the liberals going after Donald Trump. Who knows who the boogeyman will be? Maybe they'll both just blame Muslims here and in Israel. Doesn't matter. Point is that there's a corrupt deal between them. It's quite obvious. You both don't change your behavior and your beliefs magically, particularly Donald Trump. And that's what we need to get to the bottom of, because there's a deal. It's what the parameters of that deal are. Are there financials involved? Is it just mutually protecting each other and scapegoating and demagoguing? Is it committing acts of war and treason in attacking other countries that don't deserve it to keep each other in office? It could be any and all. But what I know is when you look at all of these points, when you see them all, the truth is obvious. Donald Trump is a coward. You know that. He's Bone Spur McGee. He hides in a bunker when there's people protesting outside the White House. He won't go to a World War I memorial because it's raining and that pile of doo-doo on his head that he calls hair, he doesn't want it to get messed up. He's scared of rain, folks. He's scared of rain. So you think he would stand up to Putin or Medvedev unless he had a really good reason? Something that was really going to make him wealthier than ever? Something that was going to ensure he never went to prison? Think about it. It's quite obvious, though. And I bet more and more will come out because this was just 2 days ago, that article I showed you. So I'm kind of interested to see how Bibi returns the favor. There will be, I'm sure, a White House meeting, and Bibi will come and heap praise upon Trump and talk about how he was the real strong force in Iran. And we'll see what else, who he attacks, who he tries to undermine, as Trump does for him. But in the end, it's too, like with Putin, and we've talked about in the past, and it could be Orban or Erdogan or Modi or, Xi. Pick your poison of evil dictators, because sadly they're in right now a lot of key countries around the world. And I will say again, this is not Jews. This is not the Israeli people. It's not the American people. All right. We all hate these two sons of bitches. It's these two guys. It's these two dictators.